sharing with everyone my story on how I got COVID, and I beat it not once, not twice, but 3 times. And the big secret that I used was fasting, and I ate raw aloe vera. Now, before I jump into the nitty gritty of the details of how I trucked through COVID and I didn't let COVID truck through me, we have to start almost a decade ago, when I was 22, 21. I'm 32 right now. And I ended up going vegetarian, and then vegan, and then raw vegan. So throughout that process of me really embracing a whole foods diet, my intuition and my sense of inner knowing began to get elevated. Not just with respect to my body, but with respect to the outside world as a body that I would interact with. So let's just jump into it. And on camera, today I'm starting my first day of fasting on aloe vera. And I will document the whole process to show you how my energy changes and how I grow as a person. I wasn't originally going to make this video, and I was going to keep all of this experience to myself. However, I'm in the process of a lawsuit, and I think it's very important that I talk about how I got COVID on New Year's Eve 2019. So before the COVID pandemic really blew up, because it really blew up St. Patrick's Day 2020, that's when things really changed, at least here in America as a nation. Before that, the world or the US was still operating normally. In fact, Kobe Bryant passed away around January, I believe. And there's a newspaper article that says that at that point in time, they were getting vaccine research amped up. So I mention all of this just to give you a timeline of where I've been. And what I've been doing as I talk is I've been cutting open an aloe leaf. I've been filleting it. Because that's the point of the video, is I just don't want to talk about it. I want to be about it. And I want to show you how I embarked on this journey and all the previous journeys that helped me build up to this caliber of endurance, I would say, with respect to handling what comes at my body naturally. So here we have the opened up aloe leaf. I have filleted the bottom, and I will show you what it looks without it being worked on here. That's the whole leaf. And here I have cut out the bottom of the one I just filleted. Now here's a bit of knowledge for you guys. The Egyptians called this the plant of immortality. Now I'm going to eat it and continue to talk about the plant of immortality here. Generally, I would have this with a glass of water and key lime or lime juice, freshly squeezed. However, I just have water at the moment, and it tastes, to be honest, like medicine. It's not great tasting. However, I discovered its powers when I ended up in the hospital around a year or two ago, maybe even more, after I had some beers with my dad for his birthday. Something was not right in my stomach, and I healed myself with aloe at that point. So you want to bite into it, or I bite into it like this, and then I just swallow it with water. This one's a bit sweet. Not all of them are honestly sweet, and this is the first time I've tasted a sweet one. And at this point now, I'm just gonna eat this really fast and then move on to the rest of it and continue to talk about the rest of my journey. Now I can feel already it making me feel satiated, like I'm not hungry anymore. I was a little bit hungry before. And I'll just gobble this one up here. Cheers. Okay. So forward on now with the story. I was driving Uber New Year's Eve 2019, and I began to feel like absolute crap. I thought it was just the flu. I felt so bad, and I got a fever so quick or so fast that I ended up just doing one last ride at around like 10 p.m. I was going to drive through the night and make some great Uber money for New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. However, my body was not functioning to capacity because of the virus. At which point I ended up going home, and it was then that I thought it was just the flu, or like a regular cold, and it persisted. It persisted, and the fever wouldn't go away. So I remember that I knew I was really sick like 3 to 5 days into it. Because usually that's when I could tell when my body is actually fighting back, and that's when I actually felt worse. Needless to say, I ended up staying in bed, or what would people say, quarantining now, for almost 2 months, or over 2 months, which was from January 31st, 2019 up until Valentine's Day of 2020. In between those times, in between that time from January 31st, 2019 to Valentine's Day 2020, I had some what I thought were good, like, sick meals. So I had vegetable broth with pho noodles and mostly teas. I noticed that anytime I would try and go back to solid foods, my body got sick again. At which point I realized that maybe it was really important for me to stay away from solid foods until I could feel like my body was really 100%. Because what would happen is I would feel good, like it was mid or ending January. And okay, you've been sick now for a whole month, and you feel like you're getting better, so you want to give yourself a treat, because you haven't had real food. You've been feeling like poop. And it was at that point that I realized the subtleties in my body with respect to how it was fighting this virus. So now I'll pause at that point in the story to just introduce you to what I also have with my aloe. And I have this spirulina, which is a complete source of protein. It has all the essential amino acids and a lot of vitamins. So I just chuck like a spoonful or two in there. And this is a great heavy metal detoxifier. Then I put the cap back on here. And then I'm just gonna shake it around. It's just water and spirulina. And now I have still all of this aloe left here. I'm gonna pause the video here and I'm gonna do a part 2 on how I got COVID 3 times in 1 year and how I beat it. So stay tuned.